Hey guys, Alex here. Welcome back to my channel. So this year, I attended the OSHDP conference with my husband for the first time. OSHDP stands for Organization of Socialized and Economic Housing Developers PH. However, it's not only for developers. Real estate professionals and suppliers may also join OSHDP. So since my husband and I are always about learning and growth, we figured that now was the best time to attend the conference since the world is already opening up post-COVID. So now there are more face-to-face conferences. I think all conferences now, if not the majority, are face-to-face since people are tired of webinars now. Although online conferences are honestly very convenient, you don't have to fly in and out, no more logistics, no more checking in, booking Airbnbs or hotels, but it's really different, if you attend a seminar in person because the engagement is just on another level compared to like a webinar. So this was a 3-day conference, 2 days in Cebu, and the conference proper is really in Bohol. It's the meat of the OSHDP conference. So it was the first time I attended a conference that was held in 2 different cities. I thought, wow, the logistics is going to be a lot of work. So on the first day of the conference, October 12, to kickstart the Affordable Housing Summit series of events, OSHDP went above and beyond its goal in uplifting the lives of everyone because the OSHDP officers and guests, in partnership with Set Forth Philippines, donated school supplies to the students of Zapatera Elementary School. Set Forth Philippines endeavors to empower Filipino children for an equal and accessible transformative education committed to developing sustainable and advanced learning initiatives in the spirit of bayanihan. So after the outreach, this was followed by a golf fellowship in the afternoon. So payment for the conference was broken down in different amounts depending on what you would be joining. So those who would be joining the golf fellowship would be paying 5,000 to join the game. And then there was a housing talk later scheduled at night. So that was an additional 1,000. So it's per event yung payment sa conference. So 1,000 pesos for the housing talks inclusive of dinner. So we weren't able to join the outreach and golf fellowship, but we did join the housing talks. There was Pag-ibig was there, DSHUD was there, Mayor Mike Rama and Vice Mayor Raymond Garcia also graced the event with a presentation of their plans for the city, especially on building socialized housing for Cebuanos, because the goal of our president now, President Marcos, is to be able to build 1 million houses per year to address the backlog of housing in the Philippines. So I hope the government really works hand in hand with the developers to make that goal become a reality, because I know for a fact, talking to so many developers, that it takes so much time to launch and turn over one project. And that's not even like hundreds of thousands of houses. It's like hundreds of houses only. Between 400 houses to 600 houses, it will take 3 to 4 years to complete that na matuturn over na talaga sa buyers. So I'm not sure how they're going to attack building 1 million houses per year. But yeah, I hope for the Filipinos' sake that they will do something to make that happen. Or kahit na hindi mahit yung 1 million, at least it can really, level up. The government can help developers and enable them to level up in the turnover in creating more projects that people can buy, because there really is a backlog for housing in the Philippines. Not only socialized housing, but even economic housing and also housing in the open market. So after that, going back to housing talks, Attorney Lyndon Juntilla, Regional Director of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, DSHUD, and Engineer Nolly Armada discussed the outlook for housing, post-pandemic recovery, and post-election results, insights, and updates on the fund services and programs respectively. And then the following morning, October 13, there was immersive housing site visits. So the participants checked out 3 sites. So Sibulan Masters, which is a leading local developer with over 50 developments in Vismin area. They also just newly launched a project in Luzon. mainly Palawan. And after that, it was followed by a tour at Juanito Tower, which is the first large-scale leasing venture of King Properties Inc. in producing larger office spaces in Cebu for lease. So it was conceptualized to become a development that gives added value to the workspaces available in Cebu City, because as a yuppie myself, I often work in coffee shops. In fact, I like working in coffee shops or, not at home, but outside coffee shops or workspaces. So hindi masyadong uso pa yung workspace here in Cagayan de Oro. Doesn't really click yet. So kaya coffee shop kami. But for Juanito, they really gave added value to workspaces. Now, it's not just your regular workspace, but it's really something that yuppies can enjoy and really work in. And after that, the last stop was Block Residences, developed by Acropolis Land. It's a company born from RFK Holdings Inc., dedicated to building and selling homes with tasteful design and functionality. So Acropolis Land commits to creating affordable, livable, and modern homes in the Philippines. Now, for the fee naman for the site visit, it's 2,500. And then it's only half day. So sa morning lang siya. And then in the afternoon, free day na. Because for those who wanted to go to Bohol a day early, then they could already go in the afternoon. So that's why naging free day yung afternoon. So for us naman, we didn't join the site visits as well for that day, since we were scheduled to check out the different projects of Grand Land Cebu. So meron kaming ibang sites na visit. So the following day, we went na to Bohol via Fast Craft. So it's the most convenient way to go there. Except if, of course, you took the plane. But most of the participants just rode on the Fast Craft because it's only around 2 hours lang. So October 14, that was really the meat of the conference, the Affordable Housing Summit of 2022 with sponsors exhibit. So the last day was a whole day event in B Grand Hotel in Panglao, Bohol. I really love going to conferences in places like these, like Bohol, because it's hitting two birds with one stone. Like, you're learning a lot while feeling like you're on vacation, compared to if you went to a conference in the city na it really feels like work. But if it's in Bohol or, Boracay, places near the beach, so parang chill lang yung vibe. You feel like you're on vacation, even if you're technically still working because it's a conference. And then you can also stay after the conference and go sightseeing. Now, for the conference proper, it was composed of talks by individuals, handpicked by OSHDP, and also meron ding panel sessions na Q&A yung format, where the audience could ask the panelists their questions. So it was more interactive because of the Q&A. The conference was opened with a welcome message from the Governor of Bohol, Honorable Enrico Aumentado. The first panel session was New Breed of Leaders, New Brand of Governance. This was joined by young and upcoming politicians such as the Mayor of Alaminos, Pangasinan, Art Brian Celeste, the Mayor of Victoria City, Negros Occidental, Honorable Javier Miguel Benitez. Another panel session was on the topic Legislative Agenda on Housing. So, addressing the decades-long housing crisis. So this was joined by the chairman of the Committee of Housing and Urban Land Development, Honorable Jose Francisco Benitez. And then the CEO and founder of Filipino Homes, Mr. Anthony Loterio, also gave a keynote, a talk on developing a sustainable real estate market in the Philippines. So what stood out for me from his talk was cooperation. If all the organizations that make up the real estate industry would only talk and collaborate with each other, mainly the realties, the developers, the government, and then together we would be able to build a brighter and more dynamic future in this industry. And I think it's right, because no one organization can do much alone. If we don't cooperate, we would only limit what we can do. But if we collaborate, we can really do great things together. And that will benefit not only us who are in the real estate industry, but our country as a whole. I think there is so much promise that the Philippine real estate industry holds. And what we need to do is to just tap and maximize that potential for the benefit of our country. For example, the limit that is placed in the number of agents that can be accredited to one broker is 20 agents. So this means for every one broker, he or she can only accredit 20 agents. But this is actually not specified in RESA or the Real Estate Service Act, because what is stated there is that corporations or partnerships can accredit up to 20 agents per broker. But it is not stated that an individual broker has a limit to the number of agents that he or she can accredit. But what's really happening is that each broker is being limited to 20 agents, because this is how we are interpreting the ruling. This is how PRC interprets the ruling. So if there was no limit, we could grow our sales force and help more Filipinos invest back in our country, the Philippines. And it's not only the realties who will benefit once this limitation is removed. Bigger sales volume will benefit the developers, the buyers, the investors, and the government as well. So everybody will be able to benefit from this. Because, for example, the government, how can they benefit? How can the Philippine government benefit? Real estate taxes are huge. It's a total of around 17% of the total contract price if the property is VATable, because VAT alone is like 12%. So makaka-benefit talaga yung Philippine government if there are more real estate transactions in the works. So yeah, I hope we can all join forces and work together to make this happen. Now, another panel session is Tech Spotlight, Blockchain and Virtual Currencies in Real Estate. So this was facilitated by the Chief of Business Development of Brookie Technologies, Stephanie Uy Uta, who's also a good friend of mine and my business partner for our Realty TWR group. And some of the members of the panel are the Chairman and CTO of Bayani Chain, Paul Sulaiman, the CEO of Bayani Chain, Jello Wong, Lamudi Key Accounts Associate Director, Mark Bailey. So in this session, the panelists broke down exactly what blockchain is, how it works, and what are the tech innovations that help out the real estate industry. I think these tech innovations are really amazing because it's the only way to truly scale a business. Trying to do things manually will only limit you or stretch you out and burn you out. But using the power of technology, your business will explode because the potential will be virtually limitless. As of now, there are only a handful of PropTech startups in the Philippines, and I hope there will be more in the future. One PropTech startup that has been successful is Brookie. They help developers by automating inventory management. They also have other services as well. So they started with inventory management, but now they have a wide array of services that they offer to developers. So developers can just choose from those services so that they can make their operations more efficient and move inventory faster. So one feedback that I heard from the Brookie team is that there are developers that are hesitant in trying Brookie out because why fix? Why isn't broken? I mean, we're doing fine, we're selling our listings, we're selling our inventory. Why should we incur additional expense when we're doing okay? But the thing is, even if your company is doing fine, wouldn't you want to be doing great or amazing? I mean, you might be generating 100 million per month in sales, for example, but wouldn't you like to 10x that number? Why settle for 100 million when you can potentially do 1 billion in sales every month if you only automate it? Because aside from inventory management, Brookie will also help you process the reservations. You can do everything online. Your buyers can pay online, both the reservation fee and the equity. So there are so many features that you can enjoy as a developer with Brookie. Efficiency will lead to agents being able to close faster, which will result in more sales. And sales is the lifeblood of any business. So after the full-day conference, we wandered around the booths to check out their displays, and then we changed from our business attire to our luau attire because the theme for dinner was luau night. So the event was set up at the Monkey Bar near the beach, so the vibe was so good. The dinner food was so good. There was great music. There were even fire dancers. So it was really The perfect ending to a 3-day conference. Being the first OSHDP conference that I attended, how did we find it? So what I liked about it were the speakers. I found some speakers to be more interesting than others, like it's not all balanced. The panel sessions were also okay. I also learned a couple of things from the panel sessions, but I think I preferred one speaker over the rest because of just how he presented. He was very dynamic. He really gave a powerful speech and my matching PowerPoint presentation which really drove the point home. My favorite speaker at the event was Mr. Anthony Loterio because of how he commanded the stage. He really used up the entire stage and didn't just stand at the podium. His message was loud and clear. I even still remember it now. It was about cooperation, and his PowerPoint presentation was simple and easy to follow. The panel sessions were okay. I just got a little bored during the sessions, to be honest. I think when, the speakers are just sitting down on stage, it doesn't really bring much oomph to the presentation. But I also get it that panel sessions are also important because it allows the facilitator to ask the questions that us audience want the speakers to answer. Another thing that I liked was the Bohol venue, B Grand Resort, was really beautiful. It's by the beach. It has a lot of amenities that you can enjoy with you and your family. I even saw one of our brokers there, Bam, with her family. Like her husband was attending the event and she was there at the pool, enjoying the pool with her kids. So you can combine work and family time that way. One thing that I did find a little weird though was having the conference in 2 cities because, as I mentioned, 2 days were in Cebu and the main event was in Bohol. Because as a participant who is coming from out of town, we had to book tickets to fly into Cebu, book an Airbnb there, and then travel to Bohol on the day of the event, and then take the ferry back to Cebu the day after the event, and then take a plane from Cebu back to Cagayan de Oro. So it was more tiring for us logistics-wise and more expensive as well because of the extra tickets and the extra rooms that we had to book. This is why a lot of participants either attended only the Cebu event or the Bohol event. So parang na half yung number of participants. All in all, I think there were around 500 plus participants and half of those attended only the Cebu events and the other half dumiretso na sa Bohol. So I think it would be a better experience overall for the participants if it were just in one venue so we could attend all the events for the 3-day conference and not have to keep on transferring to different cities. Also, I think it's tough not only for the participants but for the organizers as well because of course they'd have to coordinate 2 different venues like food, logistics, tokens, banners. It's like organizing 2 national conferences. But overall, it was a pretty good conference. I know that these things take a lot of work to make happen and to organize. So hats off to the organizers for pulling off a great event. I learned a couple of things from the speakers. I also met a lot of new friends and even old friends in the industry. So it's a great way to network. It's a great way to reconnect with your old friends that in the real estate industry that you don't really get to see on a daily basis. And I look forward to attending the OSHDP conference next year.